Barron's has a headline this morning. Tesla stock is on a roll. Here's the latest news. Seems to imply that they had some kind of explanation for why Tesla has been doing pretty well. The Tesla stock has been doing pretty well the last few days. But then the article admits, right in the article says there hasn't been any news that they can point to other than the misunderstanding over Elon's ownership of Tesla being at 20%. Come on, Barron's, come on. I mean, this journalism is so bad. And speaking of that 20% thing, it's a huge miss for the mainstream media. The idea of him owning 20% is continuing to make headlines 3 days later. And it was easily correctable within minutes. There was people on X all over the place saying it wasn't true. Anyway, there's plenty of news if you really want to understand what is going on with Tesla. And I mentioned some of those reasons last night. Gary Black added to the list. He says this morning, another possible reason Tesla is continuing up right now is that in spite of the markets being down, prices are staying firm for Tesla products, including that increase in prices in Germany and the UK. I can't remember, Germany and Norway, I think. Anyway, they raised the price 2,500 euros on the Model Y in a couple of European countries. So the firming of the prices, no real significant downward pressure on prices, and and a lot of nothing happening on prices. He says that would be a reason why people would be, but that was his only reason. So I'm sorry, guys. Come on. There's more reasons, and I'm just going to quickly go over these again. Some of you probably didn't watch last night. I'm just going to really quickly go through these. Number one, there was announcements from Panasonic and LG yesterday regarding 4680 production starting later this year, and I'm saying maybe some investors will be savvy enough to recognize that whatever shortfalls there might be from 4680 production in Austin would be reconciled by that. Number two, according to the RSI, Tesla was tremendously oversold, and most of the Magnificent Seven, the rest of the Magnificent Seven are tremendously overbought, and so there could be some rotation there. Number three, relief rally that the treasuries had dropped yesterday. Now, that was okay for yesterday, but that wouldn't explain why Tesla is up this morning, last time I checked, and it is continuing up $2 this morning when the rest of the market, certainly the Dow, is down strongly this morning, and most of the rest of the Mag 7 are down as well. So the yields, that would apply yesterday, but not this morning. Anyway, there's been no bad news now for 3 straight days. That's huge for Tesla. Number five, there was a new note out from Adam Jonas yesterday, and there was a previous day. There was another note from Ives. Good notes. They gave some honest opinions, but they were saying, look, we still think the stock is worth, 300 plus. Then Kathy Wood buying every day, buying more and more and more. I think that could have a kind of a psychological effect in addition to the fact that it's just, more shares off the market. And so therefore supply demand, of course. And then finally, increasing YouTube ads. Not 100% sure that's true, but I had at least one person telling me that they were seeing a lot of YouTube ads for Tesla. And then Ford's Farley saying that he could work with another EV maker about their EV technology. He would have to turn to another automaker. Probably this was in Bloomberg. So those are all things that could have been part of what's going on with Tesla and continuing this morning, even in the face of a downward pressure on the market because of the PPI print. We'll talk about that in a minute. This is Randy Kirk. Please hit like, please hit subscribe, please hit notify. This morning, Warren Redlich will be returning to the show. So we'll see what Warren has to say. He'll be on around 11:30, something like that. He's been pursuing his dream of living and traveling throughout Asia and looking for a new bride and wanting to start a new family. Anyway, I don't know how much we'll talk about his travels. Mostly, I think we'll be talking about Tesla. Then Larry Goldberg will help us to review the week and figure out all the good news that's happened this week with regard to Tesla and in general, whatever happy news we can possibly bring you. Now, listen, I just had another reorder this morning, so I wanted to bring it up again. If you haven't got your Tesla Cybertruck bottle opener, you want one. Maybe you've never even heard about this. Maybe you're new to the show. You don't know about this. This is only $25 when you buy one, and that includes shipping and everything else. The information is down below in the description. You just send the money to paypal.me/Randy Kirk. That's all lowercase letters on the Randy Kirk. And then, you need to tell me whether you want this finish, like the regular old finish, but we know most of these Teslas, a lot of Teslas are going to be wrapped. So you might want to get the camo version. Let me know, stainless steel or camo, which one do you want? And then join Patreon at the $3. This is the $5 or the $10 level. If you join at the $10 level, you get one of these babies for free or both books. So anyway, let's go on for the rest of the news here. Okay, according to S.E. Robinson Jr. on X, he says the Tesla diner in Hollywood is moving quickly. They're getting almost finished the outside. There's been a number on X, you can take a look at flyovers and you see that this thing is really coming together. It's going to be really interesting. I promise you that when the diner is finished and open and available, I will go check it out and let you know what I think. Putting in more kinds of goods and services and restaurants and all kinds of things at these superchargers could be a very substantial income producer in the future at the supercharger locations. Let's see, according to who? I didn't write it down who said this. With software update 2024.2.6, Tesla is adding cold weather supercharging improvements, along with telling you that the battery is preconditioned to supercharge. It will tell how much time is left for the battery to warm up sufficiently for optimal fast charging. Automatic warming of the charge port is also included. Battery age is now taken into consideration in the calculations for range estimates. Great updates. And of course, remember, this is a huge reason to buy Tesla compared to any other maker out there. Over-the-air updates that make your car better every year, sometimes every month, sometimes more than once a month, you get improvements in the vehicle without paying anything additional. From Marketplace, here you go. Here's the PPI this morning. Everybody's sad and mad and upset, and the bond market is selling off, meaning yields are going up a lot this morning. The 0.3% in the producer price index last month was larger than the 0.1% forecast of economists polled by the Wall Street Journal. So you got a 0.3 here compared to a 0.1. The increase in wholesale inflation over the past 12 months ticked down to 0.9 from 1.0. So which one do you want to take a look at? Okay, these are the headline numbers, all right, not the we'll talk about the core in a minute. But the headline number, so you got 1 month, again, 1 month of data, and we'll talk about where the data is coming from and why it's maybe not that important, or maybe it is, but we'll find out the details. But anyway, it is, but if you look at the whole year, it's actually ticked down from 1 to 0.9%. That's interesting. I'm not even sure how that happens. All right, let's see here. So core wholesale prices, which exclude food and energy, and trade margins, I never heard that before. Okay, rose by an even sharper 0.6% in January. The 12-month rate of core wholesale inflation was unchanged at 2.6, well within what the Fed is asking for. I mean, no, it's not at 2, but meaning it's in that direction. It's in that trend, and it's staying in that trend. They said they wanted to see it happening for longer. Well, okay, from the PPI website, it says here, PPI for final demand rises 0.3% in January. Services increased 0.6, goods decreased 0.2. And in the services, if you dig even deeper, all of the related things that are related to business, like transportation and warehousing, those fell also. So the services would be things, I guess, like lawyers and doctors and accounting and things like that, those kind of services. I don't know whether, haircuts and nails getting done. I don't know if those things were also part of the problem. But anyway, it's all in the services. And of course, when you have the services, it's mostly based on labor. But labor really, I'm not sure that we're going to continue to see labor up. So it's all over the place here right now. So we're really starting to see a tale of two economies: goods, manufacturing, retail, all down. Related businesses such as transportation, down. recessionary even. But services continue in high demand, and the labor component is what's contributing to that. Then you've got Trueflation still saying not only down, but down more. So down again this morning. And all across the categories. I went through all the categories once again, and basically every single category is headed down. You can't find anything that is moving up. Bonds, of course, are selling off because of this. All right, in the bond, we'll look again, but last time I checked, above 4.3 at this point. Then you've got construction. So the whole housing industry thing that we've been talking about, where I said maybe housing could save the bacon of the rest of the economy. Well, the numbers, construction of new U.S. homes fell 14.8% in January, but part of that might have been about the cold weather. The pace of construction slowed as builders scaled back. Housing starts fell to 1.33 million annual pace from 1.56 million in December, the government said Friday. Now, that's how many houses would be built over the entire year, not the monthly number. Okay, so that number total projected, okay? Housing starts fell to the lowest level since August of last year. The drop in January was the sharpest since April of 2020 during the coronavirus. Outside of the pandemic drop, housing starts fell by the most since 2015. The data fell short of expectations on Wall Street, where they were expecting rise to 1.45 million. The numbers are seasonally adjusted. Single-family, multifamily construction fell in January, with the latter registering a 36% drop. Now, that makes sense. Please understand, multi-unit housing, multifamily housing has been, there's plenty of it right now. Okay, they built a ton of it last year, and there's a ton in the pipeline. And so what you're seeing is I heard reports yesterday, for instance, in Dallas, you get 3 months free rent just to move in. There's other cities that are like this. So you're starting to see the rents really drop, a lot of pressure on rents, a lot of available rental housing. But you've got a more recent survey of builders in January. Builders were upbeat about future sales of new homes and optimistic about demand, and that's on single-family dwelling. Building permits, a sign of future construction, also fell, though, from 1.5 to 1.47 million. I'm expecting that to be a one-off. I think that'll be back to normal next month. Key details, it says here, builders scaled back construction of new single-family homes, leading to a 4.7% drop, as well as apartments, which fell by 35.8%. So look at that. Again, two economies. So very, very interesting. Okay, now listen, this is a little warning. It's a little bit offbeat, not what we normally do on this channel, but I just thought I should say it. Kathy Wood said the other day, I'm going to restate that in the whole NVIDIA and the chips and all this thing, there is all the makings of a boom bust. There is such shortages right now that companies are double and triple ordering chips in order to make sure that they have all they need. That is a sign of a boom bust. All this, you've seen this recently. You've seen this recently in what? In lithium-ion batteries. 2 years ago, no way there's going to be enough lithium-ion batteries. Of course, I said it was going to take until 27 or 2028 before there was really going to be any significant issues. But everybody else was saying, no, there's not enough. Oh my gosh, you can't make enough. You can't get enough. Well, then you saw everybody and their third cousin opening factories or promising to open factories, are starting to increase numbers and increase their capacities and find new mines and all the rest of this kind of stuff. And now what do you got? A massive glut. You've got lithium prices all the way back down to where they were pre-pandemic, even pre-pandemic. Okay, they're almost back down to the lows of the last 10 years. You've got battery prices dropping like crazy, and you've got factories that are running at 60%, 50% capacity. So this can happen to NVIDIA and that whole gang also, not today, not next year, but it could happen in 2 years, or it could happen in 18 months. Just a little, this is not investment advice, just a little bit of a warning as to what looks like it might be overheated. And it's not just me saying it, Kathy Wood also. All right, where are the markets now? Has Tesla continued to bang up? No, I'm not going to be able to put Tesla up in my thumbnail this morning. Tesla is now down 3. It was up 2, now down 3. It is, yeah, who knows why? Now I need to do a new lead to the article, right, that tells you why it's down. I'm going to guess it's down mostly because of the bond prices being down and the yields being up. But that would make total sense. Although right now it just bounced 90 cents to where it's only down $2.10. Very volatile this morning, looking like this. So where will it be in an hour or 5 minutes? Your guess is as good as mine. Okay, moving to the rest of, here we go. The Dow Jones is down 149.92. The NASDAQ down 115. The S&P down 21. Tesla down 212, as I mentioned right now. You've got 100% except NVIDIA. You got all the Mag 7 down pretty significant numbers. NVIDIA up $3. And let's look at percentages. You have got, you've got the Dow down 0.38, the NASDAQ down 0.73, the S&P down 0.42, and Tesla down 1.13. Mag 7 is mostly in that, all over the place, actually, from yeah, down a little to down a lot, down more than Tesla, some of them. Okay, then the Cathie Woods. The Cathie Woods are mostly down. Pretty much you could just say they're down and bigger numbers than Tesla. Again, for those of you who are new, you know that I say that commonly Tesla gets treated more like a Cathie Wood risky growth stock than it does get treated like a Mag 7 stock. And there's reasons for this. The reasons should be over by now because Tesla has $30 billion in the bank, so you can't call it risky anymore. But it acts more like a Cathie Wood stock. And this morning, that is, and actually it has been the case a little bit so far this year. All right, let's look at the bonds. They were up, yields were significantly down a few minutes ago. Let me look where they are now. We have got the 10-year, slightly better than it was a minute ago. It is now 6.5 up on the yields. It is at 4.305. You have the 2-year up even more, up 9.5 basis points. You've got the 2-month up less, 1 basis point basically. So the 2-year, 10-year inversion is broadening again. I want to say here it is at 3.5. Yeah, that's the most it's been in a while. I'm sorry, 3.5, 35 basis points. That's the most it's been in quite a while. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at oil. Oil is up $0.50 at 78.52. Again, this is right at the top now of the range that it's been recently. Brent not up as much. Continue only $4.50 now in the range, in the split between those two, getting back closer to the $3 kind of normal difference between Texas Intermediate and Brent. Yeah, natural gas actually up this morning 2.78%. It is still only at $1.62, so it's very close to all-time lows there. The dollar is gaining a little bit because of the PPI print. You've got gold down just a bit, still above the 2000 level at 2008. You have got copper up a little bit this morning, up 1.7. You have got Bitcoins up 133 at 51.9, almost call it 52, rounded off. And then that's it. As always, we'll jump back just a second to take a look at Tesla to see as it's bouncing around like crazy this morning, still down $2.30. So that's where it is right now, but kind of with a kind of trending back towards the green again. You know, I'm an optimist. That's how I'm always going to see it, right? Okay. So, all right. Yesterday, I did a video with Brian Wong that had overwhelmingly good comments. This was a very interesting look at the overall robot business and how the big tech companies are absolutely going to get into the business. They're either going to do their own bots or they're going to buy bot companies or they're going to do both. This could be the way that Wall Street figures out that Tesla is going to be a big player in this robot thing and that it's going to be big, big numbers and big, big profits. So maybe Tesla won't have to show bots working in the factory in order for that to start impacting the stock. And maybe we'll make that number 10 on my list of what could be even happening now as we see all the Mag 7, not all, but I think maybe we could say all. I think there's a real good chance that every single one of the Mag 7 are now looking at bots, have investments in bots, or have investments in things that are related to AI/bots. So that could be how this finally plays out with Tesla. Scott Walter and Cern Basher have a ranking out this morning showing Figure in the lead because they now have voice integration with the bot. I think Tesla will have that voice integration shortly, as well as I think there's about 27 jillion reasons why Tesla is way ahead of Figure 1. Let's just say manufacturing capability. That wasn't on their list. That wasn't one of the things that they were judging the bot on, was the ability to have it manufactured. And maybe getting close to manufacturing in scale. Maybe that would be another one. Anyway, I could go on and on and on about that, but I'm going to put the card up right here for that one. And please remember to hit the like button. Please remember to subscribe if you haven't already done that, and then hit notify so that you're reminded about upcoming Warren Redlich at the noon hour and Larry Goldberg later tonight usually around 5 o'clock. All right, that's all I got for you right now. It has been great talking to you.